secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns, or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca. Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Canada has a silver in mixed relay, short track speed skating, with plenty more to come. Canada on ice is rock and rolla. Plus, Mr. Coffee coming to Edmonton, and pitchers, catchers report today. Not all of them, but enough to get everybody excited. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned, community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We are live on Sports 1440 Radio, also on YouTube, iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweeted out an X as well. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at JFenwick04, at Mac McLennan, and of course at Donovan Paulson. Our guest today, Bruce Kurlock, will join us to talk about the Bakersfield Condors and possibly, I've been writing about it at The Athletic and on the blog this week, about going to the deadline and internally finding some solutions, as many as possible. Anyway, we'll talk to Mr. Kurlock at 1 o'clock today. Lots going on. Oh my God, Olympics, Oilers, the trade deadline, NBA. We'll cover it all today. First, though, it's time for the introductions. If she played baseball, she would be the crafty starting pitcher, painting the corners and analyzing each hitter's weakness and addressing that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mackenzie McLennan. Mackenzie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You're producing the Lowdown. Are you nervous at all?
A little bit, just because it's a lot of people in the room more than what I've done before.
I'm going to give you, I don't give a lot of advice, but I'll give you a little bit of advice. Don't let me old man you. By that, I mean, I'm a different kind of a cat. You've been dealing with other younger personalities. I'm old, so I do things a certain way. You just let me drift, and then you do what you're supposed to do, okay? Do not follow my lead, because I'll take you right off the cliff.
Okay.
All right. If he played baseball, he would be the catcher. He sees all, makes quick decisions, and keeps his pitcher focused. Plus, he'd be closest to the bathroom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick.
Closer to the bathroom, very important this day and age. Yep. I got a nice big water bottle over here now. I think I drink about 2 of them during the Carius show.
What kind of arm do you have to throw to second?
I have a pretty decent arm. So I was a pitcher in Little League, so I think I could get it there.
Yeah,
I could get it there quick.
Right.
The question is, will I get it in the glove, or will I go above?
Right. I think the center fielder needs to be alert, is what's happened there.
Center fielder needs to come down.
If he played baseball, he'd be the fiery shortstop. Best position player on the field, terrific bat, tendency to swing at everything, and get angry and yell at the umpire. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Donovan Paulson. Donovan Paulson.
Thank you, Al. Yes,
I'm right.
I would be, yes. I grew up playing first, but that was mainly a lot to do with I was the person who had the best glove.
Right.
And
you could catch the ball.
And when it came down to it, you need someone to catch the ball at first base. But if I could have played shortstop all the time, I probably would have. Yeah.
One of the best scenes in Moneyball. Anybody who can play first base, it's not that difficult. Tell him, Ron. It's extremely difficult. If he played baseball, he'd be L.A. De La Cruz, running on every pitch, pushing doubles into triples, wearing the most expensive jewelry possible. He'd get thrown out right after Donovan. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
You think I'd get caught stealing?
Well, Ellie does, and he's fast.
Yeah, shoot, he's
Yeah.
way faster than me. Great
Yeah.
point. I was kind of assuming, like, in this made-up scenario, I've, developed my skill set over years and years and years, and I'm a really good baseball player too, to the point where I won't get caught stealing.
Well, the highest caught stealing, like percentage-wise, I think Tim Raines was close to like 80%, 85, something like that. It's hard to do over a career, put it that way. I mentioned Bruce Kurlock will be our guest today. The Olympics going on, fantastic stuff happening. It is so addictive. You start your day and you're like, I'm going to do this and this and this. And then at some point in time, you start watching, the Canadian women playing hockey. And then it's like 8:30 at night and you've done nothing that you were, going to do. We didn't get a chance to talk to you yesterday, Donovan. So what have you enjoyed so far at the Olympics?
What I've enjoyed from a Canadian perspective has been obviously the women's hockey, but everything else is, from a Canadian perspective, has been, I'll say, fairly underwhelming. I think that would be a bit of an understatement.
Fourth and fifths, right? Yeah.
It's been a lot of failing to medal and, getting close, but no cigar. As for what I've actually enjoyed events-wise, I've loved the big air stuff, the snowboarding, big air snowboarding. I have enjoyed just the skiing stuff. I've enjoyed all the hill-related events. That's been always my thing, and really anything to do with the bobsled track, I also enjoy.
The cross-country skiing, I think probably the people who are cross-country skiers abandoned other sports because they were better at it, because I don't think that's not like your first love. I'll look so spectacular doing it, but I mean, you can win a medal doing it, but that's hard work, man. That is just brutal.
It absolutely is. There's a reason you hear so many people doing that as a workout during the winter instead of going to the gym. And these are normally people who are runners, people who go on these long distance, 5K, 10K runs. Cross-country skiing is absolutely no joke. I know for a fact, if you were to give me some skis right now and ask me, hey, Donovan, go do some cross-country skiing, I would tell you, sorry, I'm not in good enough shape for that.
It really is something else. There's no doubt about that. That's the key story today. We also are going to drill down a little bit on Paul Coffey. The rumors continue. I listened to Jason Greger yesterday. He had some really good points about, why this won't happen. We'll see if it does or not. I think it'll be very difficult, in my own opinion, it'll be very difficult to bring him back with this coaching staff, because less than a year ago, after Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, Coffey left, and there were, rumblings about why, and maybe the head coach and Coffey didn't get along. I don't know how you get to a point where all of that gets glossed over. I know people are saying, because they said it on my blog, well, if Knobloch doesn't like it, then he can just go. But this is a team that has gone to the Stanley Cup Finals twice under Knobloch, didn't get there under Todd McClellan, didn't get there under Dave Tippett, did not get there under who am I forgetting?
Woodcroft?
Yeah, Jay Woodcroft. So this is the guy. So I just don't think you can leave him on the side of the road or, call a cab for him at this point in the year. My suspicion is what we'll see is Coffey in a slightly different role, but maybe returning to work with the defenseman. I hate to go back to you, but I have to. There's nothing I can do about it. What do you think about Coffey as a possibility, coming back after, falling short, but obviously making the final?
Man, part of me thinks that if you're the Oilers defense, and supposedly early in the season they had no real schematic changes. They had no real changes to the way that they were supposed to be playing.
Stretch passes, but other than that,
I just look at it and say, if you guys can't sort your crap out together without Paul Coffey, I mean, it's kind of a lot on you. It's a lot of your fault.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, to me, would Paul Coffey absolutely assist in making them more confident to make plays, giving them a bit more of a transition game? Sure. But to me, I also look at it and say, some of the same issues that they had under Paul Coffey are still relevant. They're still prevalent. You're watching a team that can't defend off the rush whatsoever. And that was an issue under Coffey too. They've never been a good rush defending team. And that is the thing they need to work out between themselves.
But we can agree that it's partly because of the fact that the defense is populated with puck movers, and some of them aren't very big.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I could also say that it is partially due to the Oilers have so many players that cheat for offense.
Well,
and
the entire forward group does, but that's by design.
It is by design, but if you're going to be a good rush defending team, you need more guys back. And you need, and to me, one of the biggest things that bothered me, especially against Florida, was the lack of center support down low.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things in their game that I can nitpick and say, I would want to see different schemes, different ways to play. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, would Paul Coffey make a bit of a difference? Yeah, maybe. But I don't think it would be the biggest difference in the world between this team going back to the Cup final and not.
Yeah, I think they do have to alter the way they play defensively a little bit, and maybe get a right-handed defenseman. But man, there's very little out there. This used to happen a lot during the Isaiah Thomas era. A bunch of Pistons got thrown out of a basketball game with the Hornets last night. Declan, I don't recall the Pistons being a violent bunch. Once Daly left town, are they really the fisticuff bunch?
Yeah, they are. They actually have maybe the most violent player in NBA history. That's probably a little generous when you look at the guys like Ron Artest and Ben Wallace and Bill Laimbeer, who everyone thinks could guard LeBron, even though he was built like me, just 6'11". No, they have this guy Isaiah Stewart. So basically, oh man. So if you missed it, essentially it was a brawl. It started with Diamante and Jalen Duren, and Jalen Duren got his hand in his face, and Diamante was really, really, really fired up about it, chasing him all over the court. Miles Bridges ended up getting involved. He took a swing at Jalen Duren. Like this wasn't just kind of a normal scuffle either. This was probably the most out of control I've seen a melee since the Malice in the Palace. Isaiah Stewart ends up leaving the bench, which is a huge no-no. Like you're looking at significant suspension, significant fine. He was kind of on pace to make an all-defensive team. He's probably not going to be able to do that this year. He's a repeat offender as well. He ends up charging off the bench, gets Miles Bridges in a headlock, starts throwing punches at the back of his head. It ends up getting broken up. 4 players get ejected. And then Charlotte's head coach, he gets ejected later in the game. It was a pretty ugly scene, and it just kept going, and it kept spiraling. So, yeah, like the Pistons, whether it's Ben Wallace, whether it's those bad boy Pistons, whether it's Isaiah Stewart now, they always seem to have one guy who is just fits this role all the time, no matter what. And like Isaiah Stewart, the other thing is he loves it. Like some guys maybe feel like they have to be that kind of enforcer's obviously different in basketball versus hockey, but some players maybe feel like they have to do it because of their size, role on the team. Like if Isaiah Stewart could skate, he would want to be a hockey player just so he could be an enforcer. That's the kind of guy he is.
I'll stay with you for a second. I'm sorry. I just wanted to address Jimmy Butler undergoing ACL reconstruction surgery. You've said in the past on this show that he's done. Is that true? Do you think he'll be back next year? And if so, will he be lesser player?
Yeah, like I think he'll probably play again. Just, he takes care of his body. Sports science is huge. The Warriors have like a $60 million a year investment in him. But it's just, he's going to be 38 coming off an ACL tear. His numbers of he plays the game the right way. He's never been a numbers guy. He's always sacrificed individual numbers to play within a system and for team success. He can take over when he has to. We've seen that in the playoffs. But yeah, he's older, ACL injury. Like the outlook cannot be, if you're picking positive or negative, it cannot be overly positive for the rest of his career.
Josh, I interrupted you. I'm
just
sorry.
Looping back to the Isaiah Stewart thing. He's now second all time for the Pistons franchise in ejections.
And he's 24 years old.
Second to whom?
Rip Hamilton.
Oh, really? Eh?
I didn't know he was number one. I thought it would have been Rasheed Wallace. Yeah. But he does hold the record for most ejections in NBA history.
Rasheed Wallace got 41 technical fouls one season.
Which you literally could not do now.
Literally against the rules to do now.
You literally can't. It cannot happen. So, unbreakable record from Rasheed Wallace.
There you go.
Fun fact.
Coming back around to baseball, pitchers and catchers report today. Detroit Tigers have signed Justin Verlander And I mean, it's a 1-year deal. They've had Reese Olson is injured. I think Skubal might at some point get traded. So they're loading up. They signed Valdez and now Verlander to a 1-year deal. I don't know how much he has left, but Detroit's a great landing spot for Verlander.
Well, it's the legacy signing, right? It is the guy who started there in his career, the place where he was one of the best pitchers in the world, arguably the best. And I mean, it's him going back to the spot where he is going to go into the Hall of Fame, right? This is you look at the beginning of his career as a Detroit Tiger, and he was, frankly, he was next level, right? Like he was a consistent all-star. He was a consistent Cy Young award caliber pitcher. Like he won the pitching Triple Crown, for crying out loud.
You would say that he earned his Hall of Fame stripes in Detroit, and then he continued it as he went on.
Yes, yeah. I would 100% agree with that. Like he got the Cy Young later in Houston too, but I look at a guy who was a Detroit Tiger through and through. The only reason the guy really even left was because ownership got handed down to the son, and the son stopped spending money. Yeah. So those Detroit Tigers World Series teams then just slowly went away and away and away and away. And hey, you know what? Good for Justin Verlander. That's a lot of money for a guy who is now 43 years old. And I mean, you know what? I'll give him a little respect. After a terrible start to his season,
he improved. Yeah,
he improved as the year went on, big time. And man, if you're throwing up a 3.85 ERA at 42 years old, clearly you can still pitch.
But he's number 5 starter, right?
Yes,
like he's
absolutely
not going to rely on him.
There's not a ton left there.
No,
but it's good. It's going to be fun for ticket sales for Detroit. That whole kind of spiel, right?
Yeah. What's coming up on Declinations today, sir?
Well, it could be Hi, My Name Is. But as you guys know, I'm kind of in favor of retiring the segment due to whining and crying.
Well, no, but we don't mind you whining and crying.
I think so. Last week, I'd obviously put it out to the listeners to email in a player. Marty actually sent someone in. Marty Stevens, sales director here at Stingray.
He seems to like this segment.
So I think I may do his player today, right. And it's a hockey player.
Okay, retired.
Yes.
Okay, so Marty isn't my age, so that probably bodes well for me.
It's a good one. Bit of a deep cut.
Old-timey guy, so it's Sissons. All right, that's on the way. We have Bruce Carlock at 1 o'clock to talk about the Edmonton Oilers' options outside massive trades at the deadline. And we also obviously have Declinations. Hi, my name is. Straight ahead, though, rumors. We're going to talk a little bit about baseball and, of course, the Olympics and the Oilers. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense. Are you looking for safe and professional transportation solutions for your group events and sports teams? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
From the first face-off to the final whistle, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Invest for today and tomorrow. Vision Credit Union makes it simple with 2 RRSP options to fit your goals. Choose a secure term deposit RRSP with guaranteed returns or a mutual fund RRSP offering higher growth potential with exciting opportunities. With an RRSP, you'll save on your income tax, grow your investments tax-free, and get closer to your dreams. Whether it's retirement or your first home, the deadline to qualify for 2025 tax deductions is March 2nd. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick on Twang Tuesday. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with GreatCanadianSolar.com. Are you choosing the Twang Tuesday songs, Mackenzie?
Yes, I am.
Are you a country music fan, Mackenzie?
Not really. Okay. I think it's hard to not know all of the music because of where we are.
Could you tell me, switching gears a little bit, could you tell me your opinion of Taylor Swift?
I love her. I'm a huge Swiftie. Yeah. I know Donovan's not a fan, but...
Well, he pretends not to be, but I think if we went out to his car, there'd be an 8-track of Taylor Swift songs.
You just need to go through like a pivotal moment in your life, and then some Taylor Swift song is going to relate to that, and you'll be like, I get it.
So we can assume then he has not suffered heartbreak, because if he did, he'd be a Swiftie.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. I get it.
Unlike Taylor Swift, I don't like to badmouth every person I've ever been with.
Wow. It's a shot across the bow. Listen, would you be complimented, though, if you went out with somebody for a while, then broke up with them, and then they wrote like a multi-million-dollar selling single about you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be greatly complimented and praised, and it would be just a wonderful song because it would talk about how amazing I am.
Well, Donovan, you don't like to, badmouth everyone you've ever been with, but you do like to badmouth everybody you've ever met and lack thereof, people you've never met. Shout out to the text line on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't you the guy who fights with people on the text line on the daily? We got to keep you from the text line.
Not because they say something egregious. They'll say something he slightly doesn't agree with, and he'll tell them to kick rocks.
Oh, yeah, you're the one who actually borderline name calls.
I said that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but I would never actually...
It's funny about the printed word, though. You really can't tell if it's tongue-in-cheek.
Yes, but...
I'm just teasing you.
I'm not the person that would badmouth...
No. All right, we've got some rumors to get to, and this is my favorite one. I'm going to start this, and I'm just going to let you guys talk, because I talked too much in the first segment. And chime in, Mackenzie, if you wish. Just yell over everybody. The Dolphins are hoping to trade Tua. How do we want to proceed with that? Who would like to start? Dolphins fan?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I'm sure that was a big secret to everyone in the football industry that his name was out there. I'm sure there's going to be every team calling on his name.
Cleveland.
Yeah, maybe Cleveland calls, maybe somebody else, maybe the Cardinals. There can miraculously be a Kyler Murray for Tua swap, which that's not going to happen. I don't know. I think the reality is you're either going to see him back in a Dolphins jersey next year, or you're going to see him getting his his ass cut, because there's only two ways out.
Any thoughts from either of the three people that are behind the computer banks here about Tua leaving Miami and maybe a destination that makes sense if there is one?
Breaking news: Fork Founding Kitchen. They want to move on from him.
Listen, you're going to be a great CFL backup, Tua, and we can't wait to welcome you here at Elks Nation. You're going to sit behind Cody Fajardo. You're going to learn a lot, and it's going to be awesome.
QB starter in the CFL.
I mean, listen, I feel kind of bad for Tua because you've definitely seen shades and you've seen flashes of it. And when you want to talk about the injuries he's had to go through, like, it's been really, really brutal. And he's had some really brutal injuries in a really brutal sport. But at the end of the day, it's a results-driven league. And he, quite frankly, just hasn't had those results happen. I don't know what the contingency plan is at quarterback. I don't think it's not Quinn Ewers. I don't know a destination for Tua. The one thing that I had heard a little bit, and I want to get your guys' take on this, a Kyler Murray for Tua Tagovailoa swap. Who wins and who says no?
I think the Cardinals would say no.
I think the Cardinals are going to cut Kyler as well.
Now, could they feasibly swap guys in the offseason after they're both cut? Maybe, but if you're the Cardinals, why would you even entertain that unless you're getting a kind of a king's ransom package back? But then you're kind of I don't know. I don't see that happening. I just see both guys probably getting cut.
I agree.
I look at Tua and I say, you know what? He gave you some really good football, and then he got severely injured in his brain, and he is the poster child for what happens when you get too many concussions and you clearly have something unfortunately really wrong with your brain. It's sad. I loved watching him in his prime, and unfortunately career just really derailed by injuries.
Hot Salsa says the Vikings will call. They'll get him. They'll go 16 times 3. They'll release him. He'll go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. Damn Vikings. I love them, though.
Not a bad idea.
Shout out riding for your guy. There's nothing like getting behind the team that you love. That said, I think we're kind of in wishful thinking territory.
Little Benny.
The future of radio is here.
The wee baby Benny.
It's Connor's new boss.
New boss. He's been his boss for like a year and a half.
I am telling you, your life changes in a heartbeat. You realize one day you wake up when you have a little baby, you're no longer working for yourself. You're not thinking about the next vacation. You are thinking exclusively about that little child, and you're a hero with the in-laws until your child begins having trouble in school. Then you're nothing again. I'm just saying. I'm giving you your future, I guess we have time. I would like you, because we've got a massive think tank of NFL football here today, and we don't always have that. We actually do, but I'm complimenting Donovan for no reason, including him in the group of brilliance back there. How would you go about improving the Eagles this offseason?
Well, they've kind of already done the biggest thing in my mind, which is ditch that horrific offensive coordinator.
You never liked him.
Well, he was terrible. I mean, anyone could see that. I know at Deck you talked a lot about, look at where they are still during the season. Sometimes it doesn't matter where you are. Sometimes you just have to look at what you've watched and say, this isn't good enough. Yeah. And I know what the record was at certain points during the season. It was sparkling and it was great, and you were just coming off a Super Bowl. But the reality was this wasn't your same offensive coordinator from last year.
No.
There was no reason to believe that he was going to suddenly magically turn it around. It's when you have the same group as last year, when you have the same coordinator, then I would be all for wait and see. Let's see what happens. But they fired the guy who was responsible for an offense that was severely underperforming. And that was the big move. How you fix the rest of the team? Maybe get rid of A.J. Brown. I don't know if that fixes it, but that definitely gets rid of some of the cancer.
Declan, you've talked about the quarterback situation. Can you go anywhere from here, or do you just have to stick it out?
No, I don't think you can move on from Jalen Hurts. Nor, I don't think you necessarily should. I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I'm not going to sit here.
Can't make the accurate throw deep, though.
Yeah, this is the thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend Jalen Hurts is Josh Rosen or he's Tua or he's Kyler Murray. But I just think the Eagles have a very real limitation in Jalen Hurts at the most important position. Like I don't know how you can watch the games and feel any other way. Like you look at their lines on both sides of the ball. They basically have 2 number 1 receivers. They have the best running back in the NFL when he's healthy, or one of the best. Like you're kind of looking around being like, what's the weak link here? And from what we've seen on the field and watched with our eyes, we know what it is.
So if your wide receiver room is great, why would you not address the quarterback room?
Oh, like for one, like again, it's not that so the grass isn't always greener. Like who are you going to bring in that's better? Like
Tua Tagovailoa,
right? Like
I needed to get that in.
You must have to go to the bathroom by now.
I needed to get that in.
Like the reality is he's probably better than any alternative that would be brought in, and he's not a bad quarterback. He's just
limited.
He's just yes, he is limited. Like that's not even, that's the other thing. Like that's not even remotely a hot take. Like watch the game with your eyes. He is a limited quarterback in throwing the ball downfield.
And he did get hurt, and that's what happens in football. You get hurt, and then you become a lesser player. Right?
We have also seen him with different offensive coordinators look bad in the past. Right? Like he's had so many different OCs over the last number of years, and basically every year the OC has been getting poached from Philly or fired. So I don't know. Was he good last year? No, but the year before he was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pump the brakes on the Jalen Hurts is one of the problems on this team, and I'm going to say, like, let's look and see what happens this year. If the offensive coordinator is another problem, if he is another problem, then I will say, okay, maybe let's give a little bit more look into Jalen Hurts. But I'm looking at an offensive coordinator that didn't know how to use AJ Brown or Devontae Smith or anyone not named Dallas Goedert.
Like, I wouldn't even say the Eagles have problems. Like, when I look at Buffalo has problems. I don't necessarily think the Eagles have problems. They just weren't good enough this year. Like, they don't need an overhaul. They just need some tweaks.
And if you want to get rid of AJ Brown because he's locker room cancer, I wouldn't fault you. But if you want to bring back AJ Brown, which is probably most likely because the cap hit after trading him would be ridiculous, but I would keep that whole team intact if possible.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, now I lost it. I'm sorry. I had to wait.
Let's give a second.
I don't think it's there anymore.
Oh man,
I don't think it's.
This is a sign of old age.
I know. It's too bad.
It's coming early for you. In baseball, this is a period of time where a lot of information hits quickly because people are showing up. Juan Soto is moving to left field. He is not a good fielder. He eventually will move to DH, and that might happen, in May. Francisco Lindor might need hamate surgery, and that's like a couple of months. I wonder why they're diagnosing it now, but there you go. Spencer Schwellenbach went on the 60-day IL. He's not there yet. There was some talk of him being ready, not happening. We talked about Verlander being signed. Rockies have signed Tomoyuki Sagano, and the Athletics have signed Aaron Savali. So if you're a baseball fan, there is a lot happening in the next while. In hockey, not a lot. The Rangers are likely to move Vincent Trocheck. For the Oilers, is that something that makes sense at some level, or would you like to aim higher or lower?
Well, but Vincent Trocheck makes a ton of sense, but can you make the cap hit make sense?
Yeah.
Can you make the term make sense? I don't know. That is a fit for the Minnesota Wild in my eyes, Vincent Trocheck. For the Oilers, to me, it's always been more of a guy like Ryan O'Reilly makes a little bit more sense, or Columbus looks like they're probably not going to sell now, but a guy like Boone Jenner, or if you want to say Charlie Coyle, like there's guys that don't have as much term as Trocheck that also are maybe a little lesser cap hits than Trocheck, or you could easily retain on. I don't know. I like Trocheck, the player. I think he's a really good player, but does he make sense for the Oilers? To me, probably not.
Okay.
Unless the Rangers eat a lot of money.
Right. Before we take a break, I want to go around the room. We'll begin with me. Who is going to win the Canadian men's and women's hockey gold medal at the Olympics? And for me, the Canadian women will finish second, get the silver. USA will win the gold. And I am picking Canada to win the gold medal in hockey. Declan?
You said Declan and then looked me directly in the eyes.
I did it on purpose.
So who do you want to go here, big dog?
Declan. I said Declan. I just looked at him to screw him up.
Okay.
He said.
I listen, I'm not going to not pick Canada to win on the men's side when you just look at that, elite offensive ability. There are question marks. We all know that. We don't need to deep dive it. The women's side, I'm watching the game right now. It's 1-0 for the States with 6.5 left in the first period. Now there's no Marie-Philippe Poulin. The shots are 9-2. I'm not going to say writing's on the wall. Very proud hockey nation, but I think I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go with the women's team. With the U.S. team to win the women's gold. Canada get the silver.
There you go. Josh?
Oh, he looked at me. I thought he was going to look at me and say Mackenzie, maybe.
That's why I told her she had to pay attention. Don't listen to me.
Boy, this is going to make for some boring radio. I tell you what. I agree. The U.S. women for the gold, and then there's never been a doubt in my mind. Like Sid. How do you say his name? Sid Cicero?
Cicero. Yeah.
Dude, he had a great. I watched his clip from his show this morning, about the comparing Canada and the U.S. And I was like, yeah, man, Canada's taking the gold.
All right, Donovan.
I mean, copy paste.
Yeah.
Rinse repeat. Right.
Yeah.
I think Team USA in the women's is just better.
No, and Poulin hurt.
Poulin hurts. Yeah. It's a huge deal. And then you look over to the men's side, and I think Canada. I'd hate not saying Canada.
Well, you'd also be ripped online, which you like.
They are the team to beat.
Yeah.
In my eyes, they have the best forward group. They have the absolute superstars up front. The only questions for Canada are probably goaltending and on defense. So. If the U.S. is going to win, it is off the back of some terrific goaltending, and Canada's defense and goaltending implodes. So I could see the U.S. winning, but I would still give you Canada as the favorite.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Mackenzie.
Okay, well, first of all, I can't believe you all chose the U.S. women's team to win.
Well, it's up to you to stick up for them.
Yeah.
We have abandoned them.
Okay. MVP,
Typical males.
She is day to day. So, in the grand scheme of things, the game that is on right now it matters, but it really doesn't matter. And they have been beaten by the States in the round robin before. And then when it comes to that gold medal game, the U.S. always falls short because Canada has that dog in them. So I'm taking the women's team to take the gold, and then obviously the men's to take the gold as well. There is something in all of these Canadian players that the U.S. just doesn't have.
She's got me fired
up. It's that dog, So
I love
the
it.
men's and women's team are coming home with gold.
I think that if the women's team, the Canadian women's team, wins the gold at the Olympics, we should make Donovan listen to 5 tracks of Taylor Swift.
Just for how wrong he was?
Right. I think that would be a fair punishment. And do we all say yes to that?
Yeah.
All right. Look what you signed up for, buddy.
I didn't sign up for anything.
Yes, you did.
How do we even enforce that?
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
How would you even enforce that? Good question.
.ca, and let's get to work for you.
A claims program for harmed Canadians has begun as a result of a landmark tobacco settlement. If you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD, you may qualify for a significant payment. To learn more, call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 on Twang Tuesday. Mackenzie bringing the good tunes. There's a version of that song. Willie Nelson did write that song, and we just heard him perform it. There's a version of that song by Al Green that is fantastic if you want to check that out. All right, we're Lowdown with Lowetide at 12:42. There are 700 people on the show. This is overkill for midday sports talk radio, but I love it. And we just a few minutes ago, I think, had a groundbreaking moment where Mackenzie called out all of the males for not picking Canada women to win the gold medal at the Olympics. And we're going to, I don't care how it happens or when it happens or where it happens, we're going to, if she wins, if she wins the bet, which I've turned it into a bet, our friend Donovan here is going to be strapped to a chair with headphones and listen to 4 songs of Mackenzie's choosing by Taylor Swift.
This would make great content.
Totally. And we're going to film all of it and then send it out on Twitter and TikTok and swiping right one, whatever that's called, and eHarmony, all of it. It's all going.
I got to tell you.
You did say you did like one Taylor Swift song.
I'll say Style's a pretty decent song. But outside of that, like, if you really wanted to piss me off, there's a couple that I'm not going to reveal what they are. But there's a couple of them that make me want to pull my ears off.
Oh, well, let's find out what those are.
I could hear a whisper of one of them.
So Josh knows one.
Josh knows one of them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. The show is going to pod, everyone. If you're quoting Sid Cicero and going to play a Taylor Swift song, it's a train wreck. Kidding, not kidding. From Mike E. Did we play a Taylor Swift song?
No, I don't think so. We were just talking about it.
And Josh heard it and then talked about it. So that's a one-off. We don't promote Sid's show. I guess Josh does.
The clip he had was good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I always liked Sid Cicero.
I did too. I thought he was fine.
On Tim and Sid.
Yeah.
After Tim and Sid, he's become a little less likable. Maybe Tim really anchored him down a little bit. But
one thing that is hard, and I mean this, going back to Dick Beddoes when I was a kid, it's hard to be a Toronto media person and be popular across the entire country. It is really difficult.
True, very true. I always like the. Do you remember him running clip in the spandex? That was one of the funniest things of all time.
Yeah.
Or the Filipino diving team clip that they would always show. It's just a massive splash.
The song "Trouble" with the Screaming Goat remix from Evan.
God awful.
Suggestions for you.
Shake It Off, just awful.
Well, that's a candidate then.
That was the one that came out of Josh's mouth.
All right. Shout out to Mackenzie. Great take, perspective. Your valid points about Team Canada. I'm sure I have a lot of people fired up. Go Canada, go from Elvis. She seems to be able to bring people back.
You'll always read those.
What?
Just pumping people up. You'll always read those.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? This is a great show with great personalities and great young people and an old guy, you know. Do you want to know how I promoted the show today on the blog? I know none of you would have read it, but, it is available for people if they want to go and see it.
Sorry, I don't have a New York Times subscription.
No, it's the blog. It's free. It's lowtide.ca. And why don't you have a New York Times subscription? The Lowdown hits at noon today. Will feature one older fellow trying to find his keys, Lowetide, and 4 people flipping him upside down in a search for loose change. And then I named all of you, which is basically the show.
Nice.
I'm the zebra, the little zebra eating a leaf or whatever, and then I see the hyenas coming. That's you guys. And then I'm running, and it's just a matter of time. Only a matter of time before it all becomes,
You
cruel.
could also describe us as the crocodiles at the watering hole.
Sure.
Ready to just pounce on you.
And the little deer is there just having loop, deep, deep, deep. And the croc is like, it's over in a heartbeat. The one that I fear the most, though, is the Komodo dragon. Although that damn bird somebody showed me the other day from Australia, that's high. That's moving up the charts. And what is wrong with emus? What in the name of Jesus is wrong with emus? Get some arms.
Flipping that.
Seriously. And the other thing is, now that I'm on a rant about being old, I was promised Mars in 20 years, and now it's the moon again. What the hell? If you've got an outer space program, aim high. It's like, no, we're going to populate the moon. Who cares? We already did that. I was promised Mars. I was promised Schwarzenegger there before he died. And now it's gone. The dream is gone.
What's next, a Brad Pitt rant?
I've already killed Brad Pitt on this show, so I don't have to. Is there one thread of? Well, I did like World War Z. That was excellent.
Of all the Brad Pitt movies you could like, that's the one.
Well, that's the only one I remember watching. He was in.
Ocean's 11?
Moneyball.
Oh, no, it wasn't great in Ocean's 11.
Bullet Train.
Moneyball was
excellent in Ocean's 11.
Moneyball was good. No, he wasn't. The guy almost died with the explosion. He was good. In The Room, he was excellent. All right.
Oh, my God.
Love Story by Swift is an amazing song.
Yike. God, that's yuck.
Banger.
I'm just stoked by Seahawks. Crushed the Pats. And I have... I end up winning the GSN jersey at first round on Sunday. Thanks again for the tickets, guys, from Bad Niv. Well done.
Congrats.
That is fantastic.
That's a huge one.
We should get a photo op. Wouldn't that be good content? You guys are always looking for content.
That would have been great
Mackenzie interviewed me. That's how desperate you people are for content.
She's going to interview you again, just so you know.
What the hell? You've got to be able to find better people than me to talk on the
She's interviewing all of us, Ted.
What's it about? What's the question today? Do we know?
Yeah.
What's the question today?
It is your favorite Canadian sports moment.
Oh,
you're not allowed to say it right now.
Yeah.
I've got a really good one.
Say it right now.
People have to find it on socials. Sports 1440 AM or Sports 1440 anywhere, just so you know.
Believe it or not, Tide, people actually really like seeing your face. And people really like
them
hearing
a little bit weird as far as I'm concerned. You should Declan has that's a handsome Dan. You're a good looking guy. That's what we should have presenting the people.
I make my rounds on social.
Sometimes it's
I'm not shy.
How
Josh is good looking too. I didn't mean to say to miss out on him. That's
come on,
cruel.
Let's not just say things we're gonna mean.
We're good.
Deck, that Pat Spencer can sure play.
Yeah, he can. I know this isn't Declan. Josh
I was
here.
about to say Josh there.
Josh here. Picked up for the rest of the year. In case those of you who didn't see it, the Warriors' huge comeback last night. Basically off the back of Pat Spencer. He had a huge three to really start the comeback. I love his game. He's torching people when people are out. He fills the role and he is on fire. I love everything about Pat Spencer's game. Also, shout out to the exciting whites. Pat Spencer, one of them. Donovan and I's favorite.
So you're into this as well?
Yes.
Exciting whites.
Exciting whites. W.
Riley Moss.
You've never gone to a
Free
concert,
Blankenship.
but you're into this.
Yes.
All right. I just, I don't have a comment on it. interested in what your life looks like, you know. You haven't tried to run over me in the parking lot lately, but he has.
No, I haven't, but I was
every day.
really strongly considering doing it today.
Because of the content, or that I called you Declan?
Part of the content, the idea of the Taylor Swift.
Oh, it's
strapping me to
happening.
a
It's not
chair
an
thing.
idea. We're going to strap you to a chair, put headphones on, put a camera on you, and maybe have a disco ball going.
And then when you called me Declan, that just put that just slamped the.
He did not
for sure
call you Declan. He called on Declan while looking at you.
Yeah, it's possible to do that and have your faculties. I might not, but you don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know, Al. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, you crossed the line today, and be ready to meet the front end of an Acura in the parking lot.
Wow.
Oh. Your Acura doesn't go that fast.
The funny thing is that it could be anybody that I've worked with in the past 45 years. I mean, that'd be a long list of suspects. So you've got that going for him. That was good. That was a good take by you. I like that. Did the Elvis text come before or after he left the building from Robin at West Edmonton? They might not know that reference. Do you know what that means? Back in the day, Elvis would be in a concert, right? And then they go ba-da-da, da-da-da after like a 2.5 hour concert. And then the guy would come on the PA and go, Elvis has left the building, even though the music was still going on. All right, I'm just reading stuff. If you guys want to chime in and do something.
People are killing you on your Brad Pitt take, by the way.
Oh, they do it every time.
I get this all the time. He's a good actor. He's just not a great actor.
Nobody here said he was a great actor.
Who's the best actor of Brad Pitt's generation?
It's not Brad Pitt, but he's still a great actor.
See, how old is
The
he?
best actor of his
63?
generation would be Leo, probably.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt's still a great, like that. Like just because Tom Brady's the best quarterback of his era doesn't mean Peyton.
Who's the
Manning's a great
Daniel
quarterback.
Day-Lewis of Brad Pitt's generation?
Well, Daniel Day-Lewis is kind of timeless, but
That's
again, I would say Leo.
I think it's hard to compare Leo to Daniel Day-Lewis, but
Well, they have a different lifestyle.
That's a nice way of putting it. It probably has to be Leo, although I personally don't like him. Not his acting. I just don't like what he does.
Like Tobey Maguire.
Yes, like Tobey Maguire.
No.
Dating a chick that is a year older than his daughter. I think, yeah.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good for him. Like
Who was in Titanic?
Unbelievable to do.
Who was in Titanic?
Leo.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I don't like Leo. No. Some of the antics. I mean, if you can't date a girl after she's turned 25, like what are we doing?
Well, hey, he is now.
Oh, for the first time in his entire life at what, 56? Is he like 55, 56?
Yeah,
I don't know how old Leo is.
It's truly
He's
beyond the
finally
pale.
dating a
I think,
26-year-old.
bringing it all around, I think the Daniel Day-Lewis of the Brad Pitt era is probably Jack Nicholson. Okay.
Jack Nicholson
Bruce
is way
Kurlock
older.
is on the way at 1 o'clock.
Philip Seymour
He's
Hoffman from
51.
Displaced
We also have
Newcomer. That's a great
declinations.
show.
Hi, my name is at 1:40. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
USA leads Canada after 2-0 after the first period in the round robin games right now. Canada's Stella Judic has been cleared to compete in pairs competition in Milan after hitting her head in training on January 30th in Quebec. Canada has won silver in the short track speed skating mixed team relay this morning. Canada trailed the Italians and Chinese for much of the race, but after China slipped late, allowing the Canadians to take advantage. Maple Leafs winger William Nylander is questionable for Team Sweden's opening game tomorrow after missing practice today. Coach Hallam said it's going to be a pretty late decision. 4 games in the association. Indiana and New York tip off at 5:30. The Clippers are in Houston. Dallas takes on Phoenix. And finally, the Spurs and Lakers. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
product or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5. Plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Made for some rough roads, but it means trails are now packed and ready for action. Don't miss out on riding adventures this winter with a Ski-Doo from Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. Work or play with new 2026 Generation 5 models with class-leading design and power. And right now, take advantage of 5.99% financing OAC. Only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert. And always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
Get ready to love your home, Canada. The Brick has the styles and the savings to make you fall head over heels. Save $1,100 on couches made for cuddling. Enjoy a romantic meal on a dining set up to 25% off. And yes, save 25% off in the bedroom too. Plus, score up to $1,500 off the TV of your dreams. Love is in the air, and so are the savings. Only at The Brick. Some exclusions apply. Check out The Brick in South Common, West Edmonton Mall, North Side, and downtown.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
With Lowetide on Sports 1440. Hour number 2 of the show. Just ahead, we have declinations. Hi, my name is. And just ahead of Bruce Kurlock, going to talk to us about options at the deadline that don't involve trading for expensive players. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family-owned, community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Mr. Kurlock, how are you today?
Good. How are you doing, Al?
I'm very well. You're staying out of trouble?
Well, yes. I'm in my 50s, right? Do people in their 50s get into trouble that much?
No, trouble drives by your house and laughs, and you just wave at it and remember the days of yore.
Yes, that's right.
I'm in my 60s, so it doesn't even drive by my house anymore. So there is that. So the theme of our conversation today is this. Using our Twang Tuesday reference, the Oilers are at a point where the money ran out and the engine blew. So they don't have a lot of assets to trade for help, and they don't have a lot of cap room either. It's money in, money out. So my question to you, I mean, I've been writing a lot lately about the Bakersfield Condors because of the break. And, you know, I can list off Connor Unger, Bo Akey, Damien Carfagna, obviously Ike Howard, but also Quinn Hudson. I'm going to miss a few because I'm thinking out loud, but Roby Yerventi, Josh Semensky. There's some players down there who could help. So if you had to choose one or two, let's say that Stan Bowman calls you up and says, Bruce, who should I think about calling up based on need, but also based on how well they are playing? What's your A-list look like from Bakersfield Condors hopefuls?
So that's a really good question. So some of this is kind of position specific, but the chalk answer obviously up front is Ike Howard. And my rationale behind that a little bit is his 5-on-5 play in Bakersfield is substantively improved. I don't think a lot of people would know this, but he has, I think, 2 less 5-on-5 points than Seth Griffith, who leads the team. And I think he's played certainly less than half the games Seth has played. So I like his development. And I think that if he gets another 3 weeks down there, I think you're going to see that continue to improve. And that's an area where, I think we'd all love to see the middle six of this team score a hair more than it does. So he's kind of the chalk answer. The answer I give a lot, another player that I talk about a lot, and you probably do too, is more position specific, and that's Roby Jorvente.
Yeah.
He's got everything this Oilers bottom six needs. He's got scoring capability. Scores a lot at 5-on-5 because he doesn't see a lot of power play time, at least on the first group. Big, skates well, handles the puck. He's got great hands. He's, I would say, inconsistent at times, and I think you can see in the way he gets played that is something the coaching staff clearly is aware of. But boy, he's a player I'd really like to see in the Oilers bottom six.
See, I'm so glad that you said the two of the names that I wanted to kind of bring up, because it's just a really interesting team right now, right? And so when we look at what possibly could be here in the future, it's important that we focus on what the Oilers need. So I'm looking at the numbers, and like Ike Howard at 5-on-5, even strength goals. 31, 4, and 17 against. That's 65% goal share, best on the team. 24 even strength points in 22 games, 30 overall points in 22 games. As you mentioned, he trails Seth Griffith by 3 even strength points, but has played 24 fewer games. But the Oilers may have some hesitation, and the coach may have some hesitation about playing, flat out rookies, 21-year-old Ike Howard. But Jorvente on, say, the third line, a makeshift third line with, say, Roslovic or Nuge at center, and a reasonable winger not named Savoy. Maybe Jorvente is in a more attractive option because he's a little older, a little more experienced at the pro level than Howard. Even though I think Howard is a much better player long term, maybe Jorvente is the next guy up. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think it's fair for exactly the reasons you've outlined. And what I would say is, specifically what he does now that maybe Howard doesn't do well, and maybe never will, just given their relative size difference, is Jorvente is very reliable in his own zone in ensuring the puck gets out. He's good on the walls. He's very strong. He's obviously got a big wingspan, so he can defend well in zone. And those are, again, the bottom six doesn't see a lot of time. And so they're not going to score a lot. They need to score more than they do. But what they absolutely cannot do is get scored on if you're not going to score very much. And he's probably, for those reasons, I think that's the guy that should be the next man up at the forward group for sure.
Is there a sense, in your opinion, that any of Connor Unger, Damian Carfagna, or Bo Akey see NHL ice this season, and then, do you see them possibly playing next year in Edmonton?
So this year, I would say that it would be. I guess if we see Connor Unger, there's some issues. Hopefully, it's maybe just a emergency call up for an injury or some. That said, his play has been spectacular. And let's be honest, the Oiler goaltending has been not good enough. Do you want to rely on a true rookie, one of those, call it quote unquote Steve Penny moments? For those of us who are old enough to remember that, I don't know about that. The other two, Akey, Carfagna, probably not this year, although I would caveat that Carfagna is found money. a UFA signing who has played a lot of top pairing minutes for this team in Bakersfield as a pure rookie. Unbelievable. A little bit undersized, but a wonderful skater and a very aggressive defender at the blue lines. And every game, he's impressed me. And the fact is that he's clearly impresses the coaches because he plays a lot of 1PP. He plays a lot of first penalty kill. Next year, maybe something to look at. Akey, right shot defenseman who can skate like he can. Real slow start. I don't think you'd see him this year because he was really just coming when he took that puck to the mouth and got injured. And but boy, a good summer of fitness training, getting bigger and stronger. The Oilers could use another right shot D, and he's got a lot of skills that are NHL level, on the offensive side, skating and puck skills in particular.
This is the question you hang up on. Taking Howard out of it and excluding Savoy as well, which one of these young players in Bakersfield do you believe would have the most trade value at this deadline?
I think it's... Do you count Josh Szymanski as being in Bakersfield?
Yeah, no, you can count him.
It's probably Szymanski, right? I think that he is so young, and I mean young. He's a little bit older as a player, but so young in the North American game, and the strides that he's made, not defensively, but just in his skating, that looks light years better than I saw at the World Championships. And his offensive game, which has taken me by surprise. So you get a guy who wins a lot of faceoffs, great size center, young, he's probably at the top of the list, and he's probably the player that other than, if you take out those names that you mentioned at the start, he's got to be as close to untradeable as I think on that group, right?
Yeah, I see. Here's what I think. I think at some level, if you count the number of wingers who are on NHL contracts, some of whom have no movement or no trade clauses, and you count the wingers that Szymanski has outplayed and is performing ahead of, and understand that he's a center, not a winger.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a trip up the depth chart in 1 year.
Oh, unbelievable. And you're 100% right. Look, it's easier to play, no offense to the wingers out there, but it's easier to play wing than it is center. At least, your reads are a little bit more linear. And, so you could slide. I think he did play a little bit of wing for Knobloch in that last game, if I remember right, or second last game. So you could do that. And, you've got a guy, almost Curtis Lazar-like, right? Could take some face-offs on the left side, but play the wing. But, in reverse, that was a tremendous signing.
Yeah, it was. I give Bowman and I guess Dallas Aikens credit for that.
I heard.
Yeah, which is kind of a funny thing. So I cheer for all these guys. I always have. I've always cheered for, even when I didn't see Chris Height play in the AHL, I was cheering he'd make it to the NHL. So I cheer for them. But I don't watch the game as you do. You're far more analytically driven and splice things up and do a brilliant job of it. I don't have those chops, never would pretend to, but I do cheer for guys and I do watch them. And when I see Viljami Marhala, I see a guy who has real AHL skill, but I feel like what the skills that he does have are duplicated on the NHL roster so much. I don't know that he finds a job in Edmonton. I'm not saying he can't play in the NHL, but it would be difficult to find a job in Edmonton. What is your take on Viljami Marhala and maybe his Oiler chances and NHL chances?
So I think he's playing NHL games for sure. And I think that, we can talk about the Oiler part in a moment, but I think that for just one real reason, which is when he came in, I saw him as a little bit of a one-speed attacker who maybe didn't move the needle on pace enough at the NHL level, and then you got some defensive awareness issues. He's not a one-speed attacker anymore. He's got good pace. They have him playing 1 PK, which tells you how much confidence they have in him defensively, they being the coaching staff in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So I think he's done everything he can short of taking another off season and getting from 172 to 182 or something like that to just give himself a little bit more fitness to, for wall battles, down low if you're playing center, those types of battles. But I think you're right. The issue is that you need him in certainly the middle six, right, in an NHL team, and his skills are certainly like you're not going to put him ahead of Ike Howard on a wing. We just talked about Josh Szymanski. If you're trying to find room for Josh Szymanski does some things as a center that Mariella doesn't. So yeah, I would say he's going to play NHL games, but I think they're probably not in Oiler colors.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I want to leave you with this one question. I annually have a lot of people talk to me about the coaching, and this goes back to Claude Julien and Todd Nelson and certainly Jay Woodcroft. And Colin Chalk is the head coach in Bakersfield. A lot of people were angry at him over the handling of Xavier Bourgault, who has now played in NHL games. And in fairness to the players, this is a much more capable team that Chalk has had in the past. What's your overall view and read on Chalk as a guy who is, the primary job is to get these guys NHL ready? What kind of a job do you think Chalk has done overall and this year?
Well, I think we need to start with the context that when he became the head coach, he was really assistant coach kind of number 2/3 to Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson, right? And, so to suddenly be thrust into the head coach role, really not having a lot of AHL experience, perhaps unfair. I think actually not even perhaps, I think it was unfair. And he had to learn on the job, just as players sometimes have to learn on the job. You've identified one of the concerns. I've certainly spoken about it quite publicly that I wasn't. It had a less development style feel to the team in prior years. This year, I think, is a dramatic turnaround. I think he needs to be credited with that. I know. The Oilers but have actually invested a lot of capital in development with, Callie Larson leading that. And it sounds like, Callie Larson and Colin Chalk are, in lockstep, and there's a lot of communication going on. To me, that's the way it should be at that level. And you have to credit Colin Chalk for taking that infrastructure and not taking it personally in a critical way, but taking it in a learning way. And you're seeing, the fruits of that. Like, he's done a fantastic job this year. Like, we can all argue about the Stanley Cup caliber or aspirations of this team. But the fact is that they went to 2 Stanley Cups. They're loaded, in some key positions, and we're still filling roles either via injury, through injury needs or just positional needs from Bakersfield. And these players are coming up and, maybe not excelling at times, but contributing and certainly not hurting the team in a dramatic way. Well, he gets credit for that.
Yeah. Bruce Kurlock, thank you for this. I appreciate your time.
Al, always good to talk to you. Take care.
There you go, Bruce Kurlock. If you don't follow him on Twitter and his amazing work in video, then you're missing out. He really is a very bright fellow, and he breaks down the game in a easy to understand way, and does it backed up by video. So He's got it going on, Mr. Kurlock. Okay, it is now 1:16. We're going to take a break. On the way, we're going to talk about the Oilers. We're going to talk about the Olympics and, of course, a little bit about the Super Bowl fallout and some of the changes you may see. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9. Check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll team.
On Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf Buick GMC. Check them out at wolfbuickgmc.com. And on Twang Tuesday, the year of our Lord 2026, Mackenzie plays a Neil Young song. Yes, my all-time favorite artist. My Hey Hey. Could have played Pocahontas, but My Hey Hey is a great song too. Well done.
The reason you are so unbelievably deaf is that man.
Yes, that's true. Because I listened to Powderfinger on 11. And when you say unbelievably deaf, you know, you spit that out like with vitriol. I mean, you and I talk once a week. Can you imagine what Karen's going through? She goes, she'll repeat it. She calls herself, like Jimmy 2 times in Goodfellas.
Mm-hmm.
She calls herself Karen 3 times. And then what she'll also say is she'll tell me again. And then I'll say, what? And she'll go, nothing. Like, that's the point. We've only known each other for 2 years. Can you imagine after 35 how bad it's going to be? I will get a hearing aid eventually.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you will.
All right.
Because, some of the your headphones, man.
Are they loud?
They're the loudest things on planet Earth.
All right. We've got some questions. This is from Nick M. Would Burakovsky be available and look good beside McDavid? Well, pretty much any winger who gets Draisaitl or McDavid, sees an increase in points. Maybe not like Maroon level, but I suspect it would be fairly positive. As far as cost, they're not out of it, right?
Chicago?
Are they?
Well, I mean, they're out of it. I'd call them out of it.
So is that an option that you like?
No. To be frank, I don't. He has next year left as well at $5.5 million.
That's a lot. Yeah.
If you're gonna get some retention to 50% retention, maybe I'd have a smidge of interest. I like Burakovsky, the player. I always have.
But he's 30.
But he's 31. He is.
He's 30. Oh, he's 31. I'm lying.
Yeah, he's 31. I look at a player and I see a guy who is unbelievably inconsistent. I like when he's at his best, but look at his career. He's been barely at his best for the vast majority.
Yeah. Nick also says, would a Wallman for Parayko swap make sense and be a fair trade?
No.
Like, Parayko's got a lot of miles on him. So Wallman gets hurt a lot. I mean, at this point, are we thinking the Wallman signing was a mistake?
Maybe. I'm not going to say definitively yes or no.
No.
Because we've seen him look really good here, but we've also seen him look, well, this year he's been kind of bad.
He hasn't been great.
So
he's getting a little better, I think. But what about Parayko? He's got a lot of miles on him.
For me, it doesn't make sense for St. Louis, because if you're St. Louis, aren't you trying to get bad? Right? Like, there was all this talk about Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou becoming available because St. Louis wants to rebuild. Yeah. They're just stuck in limbo. If you acquire Jake Wallman, you just stay in limbo. If you're trading Parayko, you're trading him for futures, not currents.
True. Yeah. Mackenzie, you said something about the deal. What did you say? You jumped in with something.
She just said no.
No. So could you extrapolate on that very powerful no?
Like, yeah, he's a good defenseman, and like he's obviously proved it because he's on the Olympic team, but I just don't. He's not the right fit for the Oilers, and isn't his cap hit really high as well?
Yeah, they're all high, basically.
Yeah, like that wouldn't work, and I don't think it's the time to just be writing off Jake Wallman either, because we've seen what he can do in the playoffs. And yeah, he's been hurt this year, but it's also been a condensed schedule, so it's hard on everybody. And we're seeing a lot of injuries throughout the entire league. So I don't know.
No, your point about the difficult schedule is a good one. Players who break down are more likely to break down during that. And Wallman has had a hard time getting up to speed, but he's missed a lot of time, so he's still kind of a little bit behind those guys.
So if you're going to trade Jake Wallman, you have to do it now.
Yes, you do.
Because then he gets the full no move, and he is the boat anchor. So if you're going to do it now, you have to. If you're going to trade him, you have to do it now. If you're having buyer's remorse, it needs to be now. In respect to Wallman and Parayko, if you're acquiring a high AAV right shot D-man, which frankly I wouldn't be opposed to, and I wouldn't be opposed to Parayko. I like Colton Parayko's game a ton, and I think I think he is a good fit. I think they need a pure defender right now with the way that they're going. They have too many puck movers. They can't defend off the rush to save their lives. They need, to me, a pure defender. Would Jake Wallman make sense for Parayko? No. But would moving Jake Wallman make sense in theory? Maybe, because you would have to move out a high AAV guy.
Yeah.
And the only guy who you can move is Jake Wallman for right now.
Man, how great is Neil Young? All-time favorite right there from Nicky Northside. Me too. Love him. Nick says, different Nick, Bowman signed Draisaitl, Frederick, and Wallman long-term, but he won't be here to deal with the playoffs of the players. You know, I get that, but I think this is the last GM we have in this era. So, you know, the Oilers had the McDavid era, and they chose 3 times to go with somebody established who'd had success in another city. Florida Panthers went another direction, and they've had tremendous success. The opportunity was there for the Edmonton Oilers to be innovative, and they didn't take it. That's fine. They've chosen their path. It hasn't been highly successful in terms of Stanley Cup victories, but I don't see them changing, you know, and right now, the difference between Bowman and Holland Bowman and Holland isn't great, but we've got to give Bowman some time here. Steve and Wetaskiwin need to find a way to move on from Nurse. He just hasn't progressed over his career. Steve, the no movement clause eases in the summer of 2027. That we've heard that since the contract is signed. We've seen many versions of they have to move on from Darnell Nurse, and we're almost 8 years in because the contract does ease a little bit in 27. So we'll be able to talk about it, you know, actually as a possibility here. Don't know if it'll happen or not, but all those many thousands of texts to our show will finally be germane to the conversation. Why are we calling, Jay says, great take Spuds, Parayko overrated. Are we calling Mackenzie Spuds now?
I think so.
I thought it was Big Mike.
I don't know. Don't ask me, man.
I don't
know what Jay's on about, but
is Spud, have you been called Spuds before?
No. And I
you
think
don't like it. I don't bet you don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just there's too many nicknames floating around now. So I'm going to start getting confused.
Like the Charles Barkley of Sports 1440. I'm not saying you look like Charles Barkley. He just had a million nicknames.
Right. And doesn't look like Spuds McKenzie either. Just so that everybody's clear.
That's right.
Boys, let's be realistic. The Oilers aren't trading Wallman. Very rare for a general manager to acquire a player, sign him long-term, and then trade him.
Of course.
You know.
Of course. The realistic possibility is Jake Wallman's here to stay, and the Oilers are going to be stuck with him for good or for bad. But you're probably not trading him, no. But I'm just saying, if there is any defenseman that is potentially movable back there, like you're not moving Ekholm.
Yeah.
You're not moving Evan Bouchard. You can't move Darnell Nurse.
No.
Ty Emberson, I mean, why would you do that when you're already short on righties?
Yeah.
Alec Regula, I mean, you're not going to get anything for him.
Mistake to waive
Troy Stetcher. Yeah. And then you get to Spencer Stastny, who the cap hit is minuscule at best.
Yeah.
So maybe you could get something for him, but what is that going to really do other than save you a tiny, tiny piece of money? So Wallman's the only guy that makes sense if you're going to actually move out money.
Brandon from Victoria, Philip Seymour Hoffman, way better than Leo. I agree with that totally. I think everybody does. Apparently, this is Phil. Apparently, long-term weightlessness has some serious side effects, including renal failure. Oh my! With no practical solution for artificial gravity, a return trip to Mars has the potential to be a death sentence. Oh, sure. Look at the negative side. Boy, everybody's so negative these days.
So, how different is that than the the divers coming up way too quick?
Yeah,
from the
probably
ocean?
about the same, right?
Because if you come up way too quick,
you get the whatever
things go really poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know what the scientific name.
I forget
for it
what
is.
the name is for it, but your blood fills with nitrogen and quickly kills you.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Again with the negative.
The polar opposite ends of the spectrum. You could go in the ocean and die. You could also go out to space and die.
No.
I don't know. Let's just go find out for ourselves.
Speaking of Big Bad Joe, Donnie, give me a time when we can crush LT in between two cars. I have a Ford Edge. Let's go. So
yes, a cry to arms by Big Bad Joe. And Joe, I'm all for it. Let's meet at the bike racks.
And
with
cross a
Lowetide
line
for
with you today.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe. I mean, he leaves the show early, so we need to catch him early. Maybe 1:55.
But he goes to the he goes to the bathroom first.
You damn straight I do.
He does
He
go
comes
to
out
to the
at about
bathroom.
1:59.
1:59. We'll meet in the
Sometimes
parking lot,
1:58.
and that Ford Edge and my Acura will crush him in between because the line was crossed today. Make no mistake.
The answer is the bend.
I was just about to say that. I googled it.
For those who didn't have the answer, like Josh, the bends. I didn't either. Nurse will have a 10-team no trade clause. Pretty easy for him to pick the 10 teams that would actually be willing to take him on. Look, the Nurse is here until Nurse decides that he wants to go, and you know he could make it very difficult. And I don't blame him. I would. One of the things that I've grown tired of is people blaming Nurse for the contract. You blame Ken Holland for the contract because he offered it to him. And I understand Ken Holland was in a world of hurt because Oscar Klefbom had just been injured. But the option of trading Nurse was also there. But once you did the no movement clause, it was over. So, too bad, so sad. But the idea that Nurse is some kind of evil, guy for exercising all the options on his contract, I mean, I'm not buying that. That is, this organization gives away no movement clauses to the guy who fills the Coke machine, and they've got to stop it. It's not a mature way to build a team. Matthias Janmark has some kind of no trade clause. Like that's humorous. Surely that's true, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's 10-team no trade off the top of my head, but yeah. But the Oilers had no choice on Darnell Nurse. They really didn't.
They could have traded him.
But then who's your number one defenseman?
Well, whoever you trade for.
But who's going to actually give you fair value for, at the time, a team who is desperate to keep a number one defenseman, a team who's just lost their best D-man in Oscar Klefbom due to injury, a team that is clearly thin on the blue line. Like,
here's
they
an
weren't in
idea.
a position of strength.
Don't trade for Duncan Keith, and then Chicago can't sign Jones to the contract you had to match by signing Nurse.
But it wasn't just Jones. It was also Zach Werenski. There was a
Holland didn't
plethora
handle
of
that well.
defensemen.
He didn't.
You can say he didn't handle it well, but he had no choice. There was literally no choice. It was, do the Oilers want to compete for a playoff spot or not? Because if they didn't sign Darnell Nurse, they were going to be garbage because they had no defense.
But
they had literally
you can
Adam
agree
Larson.
it had a major impact on the following 7 or 8 years.
Of course it did.
Right.
But if you look back with hindsight, you would say Klefbom was gone. There was no number one defenseman. So you were stuck with who would have been your second best defenseman behind Larson.
Well, I think Sekera had been hurt by then. So it would have been,
Chris Russell?
Well, not Russell, but I don't think it would be a name that we recognize right now. That is fair. Big Bad Joe, after saying that he would ram me with his car, says, LT, I love you. So I guess my only enemy is back to Donnie. Although Josh, I'm sure, would crush me with a car.
I love you too, LT.
Yeah.
Love you too, Tide. But, sometimes when somebody crosses a line, things need to be.
I enjoyed the idea of you having
Fun.
to listen to 4 Taylor Swift songs, but now I'm really enjoying it. We're going to put like an ant on your nose and watch what happens. All right. Lowetide, the smartest play this deadline is not making a move. I wouldn't say that, but the Oilers don't have a lot of like assets to trade, and they don't have a lot of room. So, the first round pick in 2027 is the next available first round pick they have. It's gone, guaranteed. So that's a fact. But what the Oilers have been doing lately is they'll trade for a rental or somebody who has time on their contract. And Bowman needs to get that right because he didn't get Frederick right. And Ike Howard is not trusted by the coaching staff. So a lot of the moves made by Stan Bowman last summer have been rejected by the coaching staff. I have said that before, and I've gotten called out on it. But I'm once again going to say it. If you look at this team when they all gathered for training camp, and then realized just before the start of the season, the coach said, we're going to play Draisaitl and McDavid together. That basically obliterated all of the work the GM did. They clearly were not on the same page. And that is a problem for the Edmonton Oilers. Until they get onto the same page, we're basically running in place, or worse, depending upon how they come out of the gate after the Olympics. Okay, on the way, Declinations, Hi, My Name Is, the most fun you can have on radio without breaking the law. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
And more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Center has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
Mr. Reuter gets a colonoscopy. All right, Mr. Reuter, just relax. We're almost finished.
Now, what am I looking at on the screen?
That's your large intestine.
Wow, the pipes of the human body. Incredible. This is just like when we use a camera for sewer inspection, except you probably don't find tree roots.
You'd be surprised what we find.
Once I found a bunch of Hot Wheels.
Hey, me too.
For a plumber who values healthy pipes, call Mr. Reuter.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Lowetide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. We're making it easy. And now it is time for Declinations, presented by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Article, podcasts, and more, breaking down the green and gold, most in-depth Double E football coverage online, and it's all happening now. There are major stories, and you can check them out at elksnation.ca. And with that, I yield the floor to the one, the only, Declan Krueger.
Okay, you guys know the rules. No text line, no internet. 7 clues. These courtesy of Marty Stevens, sales director here at Stingray.
Really smart guy.
Marty, or was this about?
I think both of you would qualify.
We know who to say we love if we don't like these clues very much now.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
just down the hall,
absolving
too.
myself
Lord
of
Commander.
responsibility. Clue number 1. I was drafted 252nd overall.
Well, that's a late one.
Sorry, is this a current player?
This is retired. Retired.
You said retired hockey player?
Retired hockey player.
All right.
252nd overall.
Ooh,
That's a late one.
It's a late one.
So first, let's do some math here.
Yep.
There's 7 rounds now, right?
Yep.
So there's 210 for a long time. It's been, so we're talking about a deep pull here.
Presumably, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody who's been long since retired, I would assume. And somebody who...
Charlie Simmer.
Good guess. It is not Charlie Simmer. I like where your head's at. You guys are talking this out well.
This is a...
And here's the other thing. You guys have 28 guesses conceivably now among the 4 of you.
Yes.
Amongst, I should say. So
This is a stupid guess because it wouldn't fit, but I just want to say it anyways. Hi, my name is Andre Kasha.
Your name is not.
That's actually very good.
But again, I like where your head was at.
Josh. Or
Josh and Mac
could go if she
I don't know.
like.
Is this like is it 252nd? Is that Mr. Unforgettable
Mr.
or whatever
Irrelevant?
it is? Yeah, irrelevant.
Be
There we
close.
go.
It would be close.
It'd be up there.
Okay.
And it would
Listen,
be
you
close
get the
back in the
clues
day.
as I give them.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
bonus clues.
Fair
Maybe I
enough.
give you one at the end. This one actually has a bonus clue attached to it. I might throw in at the end if you guys don't get it.
Okay. Do either of you two have a guess?
I don't know. Scott Sissons.
It's a good guess.
No.
All right.
Shall I move on to clue number 2?
Yeah.
All right, you guys are going to be a little mad about this one probably because it's going to make it a little more obscure.
Marty, how dare you?
But I think as it goes on, you'll kind of understand
Cam,
where this
if
comes
he
from.
gives us a bad clue here, I need you to go over and zap him.
I'd zap Cam right back. I played part of 3 seasons in the NHL.
Oh, for the
I'm
love of
officially
God.
angry at you.
We love you, Marty.
Unbelievable.
Me?
We love you, Marty.
How
and
could
we
you
love
read
you,
things
Declan.
like this,
Cam?
Declan?
Roll.
Yeah. Get him, Cam.
I
Get
carry
him,
2
Tater.
tasers and
Parts
pepper
of 3
spray, so-
seasons.
Parts of 3 seasons.
I'll go. This is an obscure. I'm going to just say Bill Mickelson.
It's a good. It is not Bill Mickelson. Your name is not Bill Mickelson. Obviously, to this point, yes, the clues these are very obscure. It will reveal itself as we go on.
He's lying.
So
No, no. You guys.
there is like I feel like there's a 5% chance we get this now.
Yes.
And the
No,
fact
it's higher.
that
It's higher.
the fact that Andre Kasha is a substantially better player than this guy tells you all you need to know.
One thing I will suggest is, based on the clues that we've seen and heard so far, it's possible that this individual became more famous after playing in the NHL, like a coach or a general manager.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we can think along those lines.
Declan just gave a big point to
I did not. Apologies. I don't want you guys to misinterpret that. Mac had her hand up. I pointed at her.
Yeah.
That was why.
Okay. I know that he played more than 3 seasons, but I'm gonna guess him and like hopefully it like kind of
throw it a
gets
guess.
us
That's
in
what
the
it's
right
about.
direction. Paul Bissonnette.
It is not Biz Nasty. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, you know, he
I
probably
like where your
That's a
head's
good
at.
guess. Very well done.
broadcaster
His,
maybe.
his games worth probably were close to 3 seasons.
This probably a terrible guess, but I'm just gonna throw out. Hi, my name is Craig Berube.
Your name is not Craig Berube.
My name is Brent Gretzky.
Your name is
Oh,
not
nice
Brent
one.
Gretzky.
Well
Thank you.
done.
Thank you.
Clue number 3. I played in the NHL and in Japan.
Oh,
What the hell?
okay. Randy
Another
Gregg
thi-
played in Japan and here. Who else would have played?
I'm just thinking-
Tchaikovsky.
Who are okay? I'm thinking also regular station contributors. Is there anyone that fits into this? Because it can't be Laddie.
You're-
It can't be
Oh, that's a good point.
Brownie. It can't be
It's not Schlemmer.
Schlemmer.
Schlemmer was undrafted. It wasn't Chris Joseph.
No, it can't be
Strud.
Joseph.
Played
Can't be
for-
Struds.
It could be a goalie.
Doobie
Could
was
be a
around for
goalie.
too long.
Just trying to get inside the mind of Marty Stevens.
I've changed my mind. He's an evil man.
Lord Commander Marty Stevens.
Japan. Wow.
Well, I know Randy Gregg played there, but he played far more than 3 seasons. And Randy Gregg was not drafted.
I've got nothing. I'm good for the next.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm not giving up yet.
Wait,
This
but
is
have you not had your guess this turn yet?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Kyler Yamamoto.
We play by the rules here. Clue number 4. I was a member of the Soviet national team.
Interesting. All right.
Soviet national team. Late. Played 3 seasons in the NHL?
Wait,
Parts of 3
So this guy might not actually be a bum.
So he might be a great player who played over there and came over later,
Yes.
like Helmut Balderas.
Mhm.
And then played in Japan.
Which makes no sense.
Well, I mean,
Did he play in Japan because the Soviet Union fell and there was no league for him to play in? So
maybe he played baseball in Japan.
This guy definitely played for the Red Wings.
Oh,
Oh.
it's not Konstantinov or any of those cats.
No, but I feel like this is a definite Red Wing. I could be 100% wrong, but the Red Wings did that a lot.
unfortunately, this is the old style of Hi, my name is. So you got to ask.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I think he played for Czech, but I'll say Helmut Balderas.
Yeah, it is not Balderas.
I've got nothing still.
Mac, Josh?
I don't know this feels like a early 2000s to 90s Red Wings, and I don't know my early 2000s to 90s Red Wings.
I could not tell you lick about Soviet Russia hockey players.
Really
unfortunately.
interesting place. Clue number 5. I played for an Alberta team.
Oh, man.
There's only 2 of them.
So
There's only 2 of them.
Russians who played for the Oilers are very few, like very few, in that era. Calgary, God, I don't know. Just, they have players that have jerseys. I don't know who they are.
I'm going to throw this randomly out there. I don't think it fits, but it might in some ways. Hi, my name is Nikita Nesterov.
Oh, you are not Nesterov. I'm interested because the text line to this point is undefeated. I don't have a computer in front of me right now, so I'm interested to go back and look and see if anyone.
Well, I
gets
can't,
it.
but I'm sure that they're
you guys are
looking
true
it
to
up
the
on.
rules.
You know that they
the
can
rules.
look up online the text line.
Oh,
to do
I'm
that.
sure
Yeah,
they do.
yeah.
With all respect to the text line, but
Yeah.
guys, I think we all know what we're talking about here.
Okay, this is another guess that I know it's not him, but I'm going to be mad if I don't say it.
Better be good.
Hi, my name is Klim Kostin.
It is not Clean Cost.
That's a good guess.
Fair enough.
I like it. And as of now, I think he is a former NHL player.
Yeah.
I'm pissed that it wasn't Nesterov because he played for Calgary.
Yeah.
Wasn't good at all. Is Russian.
I got no sniff.
Did I
don't
say
think.
Milan Novi?
You have not said Milan Novi.
Milan Novi.
Your name is not Milan Novi.
I think
Josh,
he's
do you have a
Czech
clue
again.
for?
I don't have a sniff on this one. I don't
Okay.
think.
Then we're moving to clue 6. His team won the Stanley Cup, but he did not play enough games in the regular season or in the Cup Finals to get his name on the Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
89 or 90.
Yeah, I would say 89. Let's go through the goof troop of the Flames in 89.
How dare you? How dare you talk about young Theo Fleury like that?
They had a hell of a team.
Great
On
team.
defense, they had McCrimmon, Dana Merzen.
What are we thinking? We
I've
got
got
names?
This is all Josh.
No, I'm
On
sorry.
this side of the
I
computer, it is all Josh.
I like
I got clue 7 loaded.
I'm
Final
good for clue 7.
fringe
Okay.
Tide's the
NHLer
one that's
who
hanging
played
on
for
here,
my
and I
Calgary
don't know if you got
Flames before I was born. This is a great question.
Yeah.
Maybe he played for my Calgary Flames. Might have not. Again, could have played on that 90 team.
Well, the 90 Oilers team?
Yeah.
Oh, 90 Oilers team, they would have had
What if I was just lying about everything? And it was Martian.
90s Oilers team with a
That'd be
Russian.
so funny if this was Moose.
Jeez, if I don't get this, and it's on the 90 team.
Well, I got clue 7 for you.
Okay, clue 7, give us.
And this should be the giveaway. This is what he's known for. I was the first Soviet hockey player permitted to play in the NHL. First Soviet hockey player permitted to play in the NHL. And the year he spent in Japan, by the way, it was 99. I think he played 19 games in the Japanese league.
Wow.
So he probably played that at the end of his career. So he was done by 99?
Oh, I guess I forgot you guys hadn't actually guessed, and that was kind of a bonus clue.
You have to assume so, but buddy, that wasn't going to help anyway.
No, exactly.
I'm out. I had the comments page open on the stream.
So you got it
in, so I'm out.
All right.
Oh, so you have okay.
And
all
you
right.
can't give any clues. Although I would pay you if you did.
Oh man.
OG Eagles was the name of that Japanese team, by the way.
Well, that is the key to this clue. First Russian allowed to play in the NHL.
Yes.
They started
Well,
drafting.
first Soviet, a little different back then, but yes.
They started drafting like Tretiak, but he was never going to come here. And then they drafted Bure, I believe, but they were always drafting. Detroit was drafting guys.
It wouldn't be like Larionov.
No, because he played a lot.
Yeah.
Most of the guys who were drafted by Detroit played a tremendous amount.
They did.
But who's the old guy who would have been from like the 70s almost or early 80s? Wasn't Tretiak, wasn't Kapustin, wasn't Yakashov, it wasn't Harlamov, it wasn't
You guys want
this is a good one.
Want the answer?
And this is a bad miss.
Well, it is.
This is a bad miss.
It's probably,
for me.
it's probably about time as I look up
Yeah.
at the clock.
All
Yeah. So just for reference, it was 46 games in the NHL, all with the Flames, and the player was Sergei Pryakin.
Yeah, I don't remember him at all. Honestly, I don't.
Not Makarov.
Sergei Pryakin. Pardon?
Not Makarov. That's
No.
what that's what his Wikipedia page says.
I think it was
anyways.
pronounced at the time Pryakin, but it doesn't
Pryakin.
matter.
Yep.
If there was one person who was going to get that, it was Lowetide.
He was the second Soviet player to appear in an NHL game following Viktor Nashiev, but he was the first player permitted to do so. Interesting wording there.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was a big deal because they were starting to draft guys, and Detroit drafted a ton of them. And you thought, man,
That's why
they're
Red
drafting
Wings.
so many. Yeah. And they ended up with winning a cup because of it. Well, like more than one, actually, now that I think about it. All right. Well, I can't even get mad at Declan. It was
all Marty.
It was our Lord Commander, Marty
So
Stevens.
do we know where everybody knows where his office is, right?
Yep.
We'll meet you
Down
there.
the hall and to the right.
Right. Or we can wait until he's done and meet him at the bike racks.
Both are great options.
Sure. All right.
Maybe hit him with the car.
It'll be a little bloodfest in the parking lot today. All right. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Jason Krueger is on the way. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
USA is leading Canada 4-0 after the first two periods in the round-robin game. Canada won silver in the short track speed skating mixed team relay this morning. Maple Leafs winger William Nylander is questionable for Team Sweden's opening game tomorrow after missing practice today. Coach Halam said it's going to be a pretty late decision. 4 games in the association. Indiana and New York tip off at 5:30. The Clippers are in Houston. Dallas takes on Phoenix. And finally, the Spurs and Lakers. Raptors forward Brandon Ingram has been named as an all-star as an injury replacement for Steph Curry. Ingram was previously an all-star in 2020. Justin Verlander is returning to the Detroit Tigers on a 1-year, $13 million deal. The deal for the 3-time Al Cy Young Award winner includes $11 million in deferred payments starting in 2030. Up next on Sports 1440, The Jason Krueger Show with Jason Krueger, Connor Halley, and Declan Krueger. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.